Okay guys, I am currently checked into my hotel the evening before my doctorate interview. It's a really nice hotel. If you guys have been following my journey, this is my second year applying for the clinical psychology doctorate. Last year I had 2 interviews and I was unsuccessful at getting a place. One of the courses, Oxford, I got a reserve place, but it didn't, I guess I wasn't like high enough on the reserve list to get an offer. So this was my second attempt and I got 1 interview offer and it's tomorrow. So I've checked into my hotel about an hour ago and I've just sort of settled into the room and unpacked. I'll give you guys a room tour in a sec. This is much nicer than the hotel that I stayed at last year. I did the same. In theory, I could have driven up on the day because my interview isn't until 2 p.m. but I just didn't want the stress of traveling on the day of and in case anything went wrong or whatever. And I thought I'd just treat myself to a nice hotel the night before as sort of a, you know, the fact that I'm even doing this interview, it's just so stressful because last year I vlogged the whole Oxford interview and the night before and after the interview and everything. I'm gonna do the same again this year. I have so much to fill you guys in on, like in terms of how I'm feeling before the interview and how that compares to last year and my prep this year. I haven't vlogged the last month in between now and in between when I found out about the interview and now. I haven't vlogged because I've been so consumed by prep. Okay, quick tour. This is as you come in. Sneak peek of the interview outfit. I got this blue shirt. Funny story, I thought it was bad luck if I wore the exact same outfit as I did for the Oxford interview. But it's so similar. It's literally so similar. It's a plain blue shirt from Mango. I really like it actually. Like, I like how the buttons are concealed. Do you know what I mean? And it's a bit of a lighter summer material and the weather is, which is timely because the weather is like summer this week. It's like 25 degrees. These work trousers from M&S are really good. I got them a few months ago. And then these loafers from June, and they kind of match my bag as well. So that's the interview outfit all ready for tomorrow. And then this is the room. It's just about gotten too dark to have the light off. But yeah, this is the room. I've unpacked, so my stuff is sort of spread out. My laptop, which has all my prep on it, and my prep folder, some chairs, a TV. This is where I will be getting ready tomorrow morning and straightening my hair, and I've got my makeup with me. And then in here we've got a fridge and oh god, actually what's really nice is that we have some actual coffee pods, so I will be making myself a coffee tomorrow morning. Big bay window, and then this is the bed. It is really big, so hopefully I'll have a comfortable night's sleep. And then we've got a long mirror for me to check out my outfit tomorrow. My phone's just charging. I bought these to help me sleep tonight because I know I'll be nervous and I've been really struggling with sleep the last few nights. Magnesium spray and this lavender sleep pillow spray. This is the bathroom. I actually just had a quick shower, which is why the mat's out. It's a big like walk-in shower, mirror. I don't know whether to do my makeup here or the desk tomorrow. If there's good natural lighting, I'll do it at the desk, but if there isn't and I can't see anything, then I can do it here because there's the light. So yeah, this is the bathroom. And yeah, so I am going to just turn that off. I'm gonna go and check out the restaurant in the hotel because that would just be the easiest. This is the dinner. This is a burrata salad and calamari. I literally just got 2 starters and water, and I'm just in the hotel restaurant. Making myself a peppermint tea. I'm in my pajamas, so I feel like it gets to a certain point where it's like your brain can't absorb any more information, you know, and I don't want to come across, I was talking about this in my Instagram stories on my psychology account. It's such a fine balance between practicing your answers so that like your answers are like coherent, and being too overly rehearsed and then not coming across as authentic. So I don't know, but I feel like my prep this year has been so different. I feel like I've approached it a lot better. I've done a lot more deeper reflection on my personal life, my journey into clinical psychology, my clinical experiences, the context of the NHS. I just feel like I've got a lot more like breadth of awareness and reflection this year. Today's the first day I've felt relaxed, to be honest. Like the past sort of week, 2 weeks, I've felt quite stressed, and just the past few days I've felt so anxious, and I'm not someone who normally feels anxious, like anxiety in my body where like I feel so nauseous, just like heart palpitations when I think about the interview. The last few nights, like sleeping has been really difficult. I wake up and like my shoulders and neck are all tense. So yeah, I've definitely been feeling it, but for some reason I just woke up last night I was just like, I've done everything I can now. Like I just want to bring myself to the interview. Okay guys, final stretch before we close today's chapter. Who's that? Who's calling my phone? Sorry, everyone's like flooding me with messages right now. It's just so interesting doing it a second time around because I can compare it to exactly how I felt this time last year. There were slightly different dates. Last year my Oxford interview was the 2nd of May. This year this interview's the 1st of May, but it's just really interesting to like the contrast between those two. Like I was way more anxious last year. I think I was underprepared. I was also burned out. I was like not taking care of myself. It was also stressful. I think what's actually really helped this year as well is actually taking annual leave around the interview. I don't know if last year I didn't have like enough annual, no, I must have. But I just didn't take any time off really around the interview. I was just doing it on the weekends, and I remember I worked the day before the interview, and a lot of people have to, they don't have the luxury of taking any annual leave, but for example I've had this week off. Anyway, what I've done this year to prepare and like really deeply reflect, I'll show you guys an example. So what I started off with was my basic knowledge, right? So theories and models in psychology, you will probably want to know CBT and cognitive theory and behavioral theory. Started off making a Word doc just on like over 2 pages summarizing cognitive theory, behavioral theory, how you formulate and what the intervention is like, and then some criticisms, like evaluation, what are the pros and cons of this approach. And then I did the same for like compassion focused therapy and the compassionate mind model, because that's what I work in a staff psychology service, so that's the model that we use. So just have 2 models that you're familiar with and that you can evaluate, and you know the basic theory, how you formulate, some examples of what you do at intervention. So I started with that. I started with knowledge. Then I would really recommend doing this next part, and I did not do this last year, and it's starting with you. Reflect on your whole life. And that might seem daunting, and some interviews, some courses don't ask you as much personal questions, but I knew for this course, because they sent a brief prior to the interview, they said in the instructions that you will be asked to think about your life so far and what has shaped your career choice. I drew out like a roadmap of my life, and I put like significant events throughout my life that I think have shaped me, thought about what challenges I've had in my life, my family background and upbringing, and how that's influenced me, and how that's influenced my desire to go into clinical psychology. I've thought about what the positive parts of my life, and that I found interesting, because it's like, for me, and I think this is like a widespread phenomena, is it's a lot easier to think of the challenging times in your life, like they just pop up like that. But then when you sit and think, like, I mean, I can think of a positive thing, but I'm like, is that appropriate to say in an interview? Positive time in my life is when I'm on holiday, like when I'm not working. It's harder to think of those examples, and it's like that attention bias we often have to like highlight the negatives, you know. But I drew that all out, and then an example for me that I feel comfortable sharing is, for example, my experience with having scoliosis and how having a physical health condition impacted me, particularly as a teenager. So what I did was, on each of these post-it notes, I put my overall learnings, what personal values I now have because of that experience, how that relates to the 6 NHS core values, how it links to the current context of the NHS, my why clinical psychology, why is this important, and then what I would uniquely bring to clinical psychology. Those are just some prompts that you can think of. So I really sort of mapped it out and thought about each of my experiences. What values have they taught me? How does it relate to the NHS and the profession? So yeah, and then I've also got flashcards for different questions in different colours for different categories. Blue is sort of personal questions, sort of generic, why clinical psychology, why this course. Green are the knowledge questions, so sort of, you know, explain cognitive theory, explain how CBT works, evaluate CBT. Yellow are NHS sort of questions, so each of the 6 core values, and getting myself to think of examples where I've demonstrated this value in my professional life. Current NHS context, how this influences the profession, what's the future of clinical psychology, those kinds of questions are yellow. And then pink are sort of clinical questions. So I thought of 2 case studies and themes from them, such as ethical issues, service user involvement, supervision, group, you know, MDT working, and all of those. So yeah, because those are kind of like the 4 themes that I see as like clinical kind of questions and clinical skills, personal questions, sort of professional questions, and then, you know, just some knowledge that I need to know as a separate category. So yeah, I'm just going to do a final bit and then I'm going to go to bed. This is the outfit. the blue shirt from Mango, I really like it, and then these work trousers from M&S. Just make sure it's all sitting okay, and these are my new loafers, which match my bag, kind of, but they make a farting noise when I walk, so that's good. Yeah, I needed to be out of here like 5 minutes ago, so I need to go. So I haven't actually vlogged at all since leaving the hotel. I just realised I left my glasses at the hotel, but it's fine because I also left my suitcase there, so I'll go and collect it. But I'm about to go in, wish me luck, and I'll update you guys after. Yeah, I don't feel great about that interview, I'll be honest. I felt so confident and calm before, and then as soon as I sat in front of that panel, I was just like, I don't even know what I said. I didn't even say like what I thought I was going to say or how I prepared to answer my questions. So there were some, like, they were like nodding along to some of the things I was saying, but I don't know. I really don't know how I feel. I did not think I'd feel like this. A pint of Diet Coke, I could very much use a glass of wine, but I'm going to drive back to Bristol, so I don't know. I just have no idea how that went, and I didn't say what I think I'm beating myself up because I just thought I could answer everything perfectly, and I don't think I did. But then, will anyone? Just with this course, there's about a 1 in 3 chance that you'll get a place. So I'm just sat here like, was I better than 2/3 of people? Like, I don't know. So yeah, I honestly don't know. I don't feel good, but it's over. I thought I would feel more relief, and I thought I would feel better about my performance, and I don't. And that's the reality. So I might have fucked it, basically.
I'm that bitch cause I motherfucking said so. Bitch, I'm getting money, I ain't ran out. My bitch is shaking ass, but they here now. How the fuck we...
Okay, I'm treating myself to lunch at Pinkman's in Bristol. If you haven't been, they've got the best pastries as well. And I also just got a pedicure, so I just feel brand new, because that last week before the interview, like, my hair was greasy, I was just not feeling myself. Okay guys, it is the day after the interview. I'm just gonna give like a quick debrief of the interview itself, and then how I felt immediately after and where I'm at now. When I came out of that interview, I felt really just like unsettled. I think because I had such a positive mindset before, I expected to come out feeling the same, like I did my best, that, you know, I was manifesting that it was all gonna go smoothly, you know, of course it'll be fine, I've prepared for this. But I just came out of it so unsettled, and I think it's because, one, the interview just goes by so quickly, and for the amount of questions that you have, it doesn't feel like enough time. Or I felt really rushed through the interview, like it was 45 minutes to do a role play and then 9 or 10 questions. And the role play was 5 minutes. So yeah, I just felt really on the spot in the interview, and I think also what threw me off was the panel. So my panel that I had was really just straight face, no emotion, like nothing to make me feel like, oh yeah, like what I'm saying is good, they like what I'm saying. It was really deadpan. One of the panel members was even yawning, and that, I know I've been on the other side of interviewing, and it is really exhausting, like listening to people all day. And also it's like the hottest week that we've had this year. It's really hot, so I get that they were tired, and you can't help, sometimes yawning you actually can't help, but I can't help finding it off-putting. I was like, oh, am I boring you guys? Like, so I just came out of it feeling really, really unsettled basically, and just completely picking myself apart. And I think we have a tendency to do that, is like just attribute things to yourself rather than the panel were tired, or maybe like they do that on purpose. And talking to other people who had interviews and trainees who had that interview, they said the same thing, that, you know, that resonated with them, that their panel were quite deadpan and they felt rushed through the interview. They feel like they didn't, and also I felt like I didn't say everything I prepared to say. So I came out of it feeling disappointed, because I thought I really prepped to ace that interview. I feel like I did really broad prep, reflected really deeply, and I don't feel like I brought that into the interview enough. So that's how I felt. And then I got home yesterday absolutely exhausted, emotionally, physically exhausted. Today I woke up at 7 AM because I'd been dreaming about the interview. I woke up feeling so anxious and sick. It is literally like plaguing me, and I keep getting flashbacks to questions, things I should have said, what I did say, just picking myself apart. But it has got a bit better throughout the day. I went to go get a pedicure, took myself out for lunch, got a coffee, and my boyfriend is on his way over now, which will be really nice. I have not seen Scott for 4 weeks, I think, since the last time I vlogged, which was around a month ago. I'm actually about to write him a thank you card, because he has been my absolute rock throughout this process, and he was last year as well, but we were like newly dating when I went through this last year, and he's just been there for me, been so supportive, been so understanding, given me so much encouragement, positivity, reassurance. Like, I can't even thank him enough. So I'm gonna write him a thank you card, and we've been apart for a month, and I've said, well, we're never doing this again. That's one reflection I have from my prep, is if you're gonna go through the same thing as me, if you're prepping for like a big interview, keep your support network around you. Because I made the mistake this year of just thinking I need to just go all in with prep. I can't afford to see my boyfriend, and it was just completely unnecessary. Honestly, it makes things worse. Keep your support network around you, and we've said to each other we are never doing this again. There is no circumstance ever in this life that would make us willingly spend a month apart ever again. So we're gonna have a nice long weekend together, because it's bank holiday Monday. So it's now Friday evening. He'll be here any minute now. We've got Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday and Monday, and it's going to be wonderful. So yeah, I'm going to end this vlog here. I am going to vlog next week. That is when I get the outcome of the interview. They haven't given us a specific day of the week. They've just said we will know by Friday. Apparently last year it was on the Thursday, so we'll see. I will be vlogging, so stay tuned for the next vlog. But thank you for watching. Thank you for all of your support. If you enjoyed this vlog, make sure to smash the thumbs up down below, subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video.